Hi, it's Ashley from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, and welcome back to my channel where I make a lot of cake and cookie decorating tutorials as well as give a lot of baking business tips. And today it is day 14 of Vlogmas. I can't believe we are already more than halfway through Vlogmas, but thank goodness because I have been baking a lot and I am looking forward to a much needed break after this. We have finally reached the stage, though, where things actually get fun. I really love all parts of baking, but the prep work can sometimes be super labor intensive, and honestly, the payoff is very little. But today, we get some payoff because we finally get to see how beautiful everything looks. As you know, I have been making all of these things for a fundraiser at my school. I focused on making some of the cookies as well, but I really wanted to make sure that all of the cake pops were fully dipped and finished because they need to be delivered to the school tomorrow. Although I am technically fully doing all of this on my own, I did call reinforcements in a few times over the course of this baking journey, and luckily I don't have to worry about the packaging. Another team is going to handle all of the packaging for me. So when it comes to decorating cake pops, it is a little bit of a timing thing. You don't want the chocolate to be too warm and you don't want your cake pops to be too cool. That differential between the two can cause a lot of issues like cracking, oil leakage, and your cake pop stick can start falling out if things get too warm. So it is a little bit of a game to make sure that you've got everything at the correct temperature so that you're not pulling your hair out by the end of this. So I have to kind of do a different method every time I do a certain design with a cake pop. Every design starts with the first step, which is inserting that stick and letting that chocolate cool off a little bit so that it's fully hardened. So when you go and dip the cake pop in, there's less of a chance of it slipping off that cake pop stick. So with this ombre sprinkle design, it really works the same whether or not I use the round type sprinkles or the rock sugar sprinkles. But basically what I do is I dip it into the chocolate and then I kind of wait with the cake pop upside down for a little bit after whirling off all of that excess chocolate. And then before things turn opaque while the chocolate is still shiny, which means it is still tacky, I put on a bunch of those sprinkles, really directing it at the top of the cake pop and letting the rest of it fall naturally down the cake pop side. Each type of chocolate I find always has a little bit of a different texture, and I really enjoyed these green candy melts. I think they did the job beautifully, and I really didn't have to add too much vegetable oil to thin things out. You'll also notice that what I've done for my setup is cover my entire table in parchment. I just find this the easiest way, especially when I'm working with these types of numbers. If I was just doing a few cake pops, like maybe 50 cake pops, I would usually use a half sheet tray and put the Silpat on top and then let the cake pops rest on there. But in this instance, I really had to utilize my space properly, and I knew I wasn't going to pop these back into the fridge with this sheer volume. As you can see, I am on the next design, which is this really beautiful white kind of sparkly looking snowball, but it originally started out with me trying to put these snowflakes on top, but I make a mistake here, and you can kind of see what I mean by when I say I need to change the technique and the way that I do things with each different design. With the ombre sprinkle design, I could put as many sprinkles on there as I wanted to and it would just fall off nicely. But the quins are a little bit heavier, so then I started getting dragging and it just was not working. And for some reason, the white looked a little bit translucent, so I decided to go with using the sugar instead. I think I got nearly half those cake pops done before really needing to go to bed, and this is me on the next day. And yes, my hair does look like that because I'm doing heatless curls at the same time. Beauty while baking. I didn't get to finish up all of those white cake pops. Sometimes I feel like when I'm stopping baking, I don't always stop at a natural stopping point. Sometimes I just hit a wall and I'm like, you know what? It is time for me to go to bed and I will restart this tomorrow. And I'm so glad I did with the cake pops because what was happening near the end of the night was I was losing a lot of cake pops because they were falling off the sticks. Remember, we talked about how temperature is so important, but because these got to sit again back in the refrigerator overnight, it really helps solidify things up, and then I was able to get the rest of the cake pops dipped relatively easily. And I do manage to make those snowflake quins work later on a different cake pop. And the trick was, one, I was able to troubleshoot because I wasn't as tired, and two, I really just placed on a few less quins on there. So I was really delicate with the way that I placed the quins on, and they worked so beautifully against that dark chocolate on the outside. And as Bob Ross says, this was definitely a happy accident because I felt like adding these snowflake quins to the top of the dark chocolate really added a Christmas twist to the dark chocolate ones. Originally, I was just going to put on some gold sprinkles, which would have been a little bit more generic, and I actually couldn't find any gold sprinkles at the store for some reason. So all of the gold sprinkle plans that I had just kind of had to shift a little bit. And I am making 65 of each design. I decided to go really heavy with the reds and the greens as this is for Christmas, and I only did 65 white and 65 dark chocolate. These red melting wafers were already looking pretty good in terms of color, but I do find that with chocolate that's already dyed red, it tends to look a little pink once you melt everything. So I definitely wanted to go in and add a little bit more food coloring. When you are adding food coloring, make sure it is always oil-based when you're working with chocolate. Dipping the red ones was so satisfying. I just loved the deep, rich red color that I got from adding that food dye. And then I got to add on these Christmas sprinkles, which just really put me in the holiday mood. Today's baking day was honestly one of the least stressful. I think it's because I put so much work on the front end organizing everything that finally when I got to this part, there were very few mistakes. I think I only lost about 6 cake pops, which, when you're making 400 cake pops is pretty good odds. I was aligning things really carefully on the parchment as well. Yes, because I wanted that beautiful picture at the end, but it was actually for a practical reason as well, which is so I can count very, very easily, because as soon as you start misaligning things, you can't multiply as well. So I really do like to make sure when I'm working with these increments, I'm making everything really, really aligned. I know that it looks like I have way too many sprinkles because I am almost done making these cake pops, but keep in mind I have 480 cupcakes that I still need to make and decorate, and they're going to be using up a lot of sprinkles because I have designs in which I'm going to be rolling my cupcakes in sprinkles, and last time I did something similar to this, I ran out very quickly, so I don't want to have any shortage. This final design honestly looks like a cross between an apple and a tomato. It is neither. I just thought it would look cute to have a really beautiful red cake pop and then put this little Christmas tree candy on top. I'm going to be using the snowman and the red Christmas trees on my cupcake wreath. Honestly, this particular part of the job felt really good. I wasn't even that exhausted or tired from dipping all of these cake pops. I just had this really great satisfied feeling, and I think you need to have some of those wins when you're making big orders like this. Now, these cake pops can stay out overnight for a couple of days actually, and they'll be totally fine and fresh. They're really protected by that outer coating of chocolate, but these are only going to have to stay out for a little bit, and then they're going to be placed in the fridge. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of this Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading every single day for Vlogmas, so be sure to check back tomorrow to keep up with me on my baking journey for this fundraiser. Don't forget to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys. Bye!